This is the Sakar Murli of the 22nd of July 2023. Essence. Sweet children, when you die, the world is dead for you. To belong to the Father means to break the consciousness of bodies. No one except the one Father should be remembered. Question. What slogan should you always remember as you see the final moments coming closer? Answer. The wealth of some will remain buried. Kings will take the wealth of some, and the wealth of others will be looted. ... Constantly remember this slogan, because mountains of sorrow are now about to fall, and everyone will die. You children now have to sacrifice yourselves completely to the Father. Everything of yours is being used in a worthwhile way. You sacrifice yourselves for one birth, and the Father sacrifices himself to you for 21 births. For 21 births you will not need any inheritance from your physical mothers and fathers. Then from the Copper Age onwards, the reward you receive is according to your actions. Song. I am just a small child and you are the Almighty. Om Shanti. Human beings understand that God is the highest on high. God is always known as the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. His name is elevated, and his place of residence is also elevated. He resides in the highest place of all, the Supreme Region. Now, since he is referred to as God the Father, everyone must surely be his child. It cannot be said that we are the Father. With the notion of omnipresence, everyone becomes the Father. He is known as the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, the one who resides in the Supreme Region, the land far beyond. He is God, the highest on high, which is why all the devotees remember him. They even say God has come here to give the fruit of devotion to the devotees. That Father is the creator of heaven, and so the Creator would definitely create the new world. So where would he come? Would he come into an impure world or a pure world? Just see, this is an aspect that has to be imbibed very well. You are not small, the organs of your bodies are mature. You know that everyone remembers the Father. They understand that there is sorrow here. They say, take us to a place of peace and happiness. According to the drama, the Father has to come. This drama is predestined. There can be no change within it. The cycle of the world, history and geography continues to rotate. The 4 ages continue to rotate. The Confluence Age comes after the Iron Age. This is the age of charity, the benevolent age in between the Iron Age and the Golden Age. This is the most auspicious age, that is, it is the age to become the highest of all, to become those with the highest code of conduct. There is no other age as elevated as this one. The confluence of the Golden and Silver Ages is not elevated. There is a loss of 2 degrees of happiness in that. The praise is of this confluence age. You understand that the Father is the highest on high. It is not that he is omnipresent. Children make many mistakes, but these mistakes have to take place according to the drama. I come and free you from making mistakes. The Father says, you call me God, the highest on high, but I make you children even higher than myself. This is why devotees remember me. However, because of the notion of omnipresence, they have put me in the dust, and they themselves have become poverty-stricken and unhappy. Bharat was a land of happiness. It has now become a land of sorrow. The Father says, I now make you even higher than myself. I reside in the supreme region, Paramdam, in Brahman, the element of light. You also reside there, but you come down here to play your parts. You understand that Brahmins are the highest of all, the top knot. Therefore, what symbol can be used for Shiv Baba, the highest on high? He is a star. As is a soul, so the supreme soul. A soul is a sparkling star in the middle of the forehead. The form of a soul is that of a star. This drama is predestined. All souls reside in Brahman, the element of light, in the incorporeal tree, which is also called the land of Nirvana. Souls come from the incorporeal world, the sweet home. This is now a land of sorrow. There are so many partitions. There were no partitions in the Golden Age. Bharat was the most elevated land. Baba is called the truth. Baba says, I come to establish the land of truth. Therefore surely the new world has to be established and the old world destroyed. Mountains of sorrow are now about to fall. The wealth of some will remain buried... They also understand that by creating bombs and showing each other a stern eye, everything will ultimately be destroyed. However, they don't realize who is inspiring them to make such things. It is mentioned in the Gita that missiles emerge from their stomachs. All of that is a question of the intellect. They make bombs in order to destroy their own nations. There are 3 armies, the Yadavs, the Kauravas and the Pandavas. The Yadavs and the Kauravas fight each other and destroy themselves. There is no fighting between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. You do not battle with anyone. You are Raj Rishis who have the power of yoga. Sannyasis are Hatha Yogi Rishis. Those versions were spoken by Shankaracharya, and these versions are spoken by Shivacharya, Shiva the teacher. It would not be said Sri Krishnacharya, Krishna the teacher. He is now taking knowledge in order to become Sri Krishna once again. That kingdom is now being established. You are becoming divine flowers from impure thorns. You also heard in the song, Come and uplift us sinners who are as bad as Ajamil. It is said that the purifier is also the Satguru, the one who transforms you from ordinary humans into Narayan and makes you into the kings of kings. This is your aim and objective. This is a school in which we become Narayan from an ordinary man and Lakshmi from an ordinary woman. There is no question of blind faith in this. There is an aim and objective in schools. You have come to the Father in order to claim your unlimited inheritance. You have to claim your inheritance of that place here. That is a land of happiness. This is a land of sorrow. You heard in the song, I am a small child. You are children. Some are 25 years old and some are 20 years old. Baba says even a child of 1 day can claim the inheritance. The unlimited Father has come to make Bharat like a diamond once again. In the Golden Age there were so many palaces of diamonds and jewels, don't even ask. Then, when the path of devotion began, the impure kings created temples like Somnath. The kings too had temples. Nowadays they continue to build many temples. Who would have built the main temple? It must have been those who became worshippers from being worthy of worship who built it. The praise, the soul is a worshipper and becomes worthy of worship, does not apply to the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. His praise is unique. The praise of every human being is different. The highest praise is of the Father, through whom you receive the inheritance for 21 births. Then, from the Copper Age onwards, you become children of your physical fathers, and you take birth according to the actions you perform. By donating wealth, you receive an inheritance of temporary happiness for 1 birth. Kings too become ill. You do not become ill in the Golden Age. Your average lifespan will be 150 years. There you remain so healthy. There is no trace of sickness or sorrow. Shiv Baba brings a gift for you children. This is known as heaven on the palm of his hand. You have to make effort, no matter whether you belong to the Sun dynasty or the Moon dynasty, or you become a wealthy subject. You have the aim and objective to become like Sri Krishna. However, Sri Krishna never spoke these versions. These are the versions of God. It has been explained that this is the sacrificial fire of knowledge of Rudra, in which you claim self-sovereignty. Many tall stories have been written in the scriptures. By sacrificing yourself to the Father sacrifices himself to you for 21 births. The Father makes you children the highest of all. Those who reside in the Brahm element are the masters of the Brahm element. You become the masters of the world. I do not become the master of the world. I come in order to make you that. You called out, O purifier, come and purify us. In that case, how could he be omnipresent? Only the one Father is the purifier, and the one who grants salvation to all. At this time, everyone has become Tamo Pradhan. Everyone has to pass through the stages of Sato, Rajo and Tamo. To begin with, everything is Sato Pradhan, and it then becomes Tamo Pradhan. In the Golden Age, deities are Sato Pradhan. and then in the Silver Age they become Sato warriors of the kingdom of Rama. After that, they become Rajo merchants and then Tamo Shudras. There are the different castes. The variety form image portrays deities, warriors, merchants and Shudras. However, they have omitted the father and the Brahmins. You Brahmins are even higher than the deities because you do elevated service of Bharat. You are following Srimat. You receive the most elevated, the highest of all, direction from God, from Sri Sri Shiv Baba, through which you become Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan. Then, when Maya enters you, you become devilish. Baba comes every cycle and explains to you in this way. Baba has placed the urn of knowledge on the heads of the mothers in order to change humans into deities. Sannyasis consider women to be the gateway to hell. They defame them, and then they go to those same mothers and beg for alms. Therefore that debt increases. This is why they have to take rebirth in a household and renounce everything again. How could there be so many sannyasis if they didn't take rebirth? Bharat was pure. It was called a completely viceless world. People go in front of deity idols and sing their praise. You are full of all divine virtues. Whereas they say of themselves, we are virtueless. We have no virtue. You are full of all virtues. This praise does not belong to Shiv Baba. It applies to the deities. But because of not having full knowledge, they sing this praise in front of Rama and Sita. They celebrate the birthday of Shiva, but they do not understand anything. Therefore the Father says, your third eye of knowledge is now opening. Deities do not have a third eye. In the pictures, deities are shown with a third eye. That, in fact, belongs to you. However, the third eye of some opens and then closes again. They listen to this knowledge and become amazed. They like the knowledge and relate it to others. Then they run away. Many good children are defeated by Maya. The Father inspires you to battle with the 5 vices and gain victory over them. Otherwise there is no other battle. You now belong to the clan of Brahma, and you will later become deities. You have now come from the Shudra clan into the Brahmin clan. At this time, the cycle of the whole world is in your intellects. This play is about to end. The Father has now come to take you back. Maya has made everyone impure. The Father says, now become conquerors of sinful actions with this fire of yoga. This requires effort. You don't need to do anything other than remember the Father. Baba, we were yours. You sent us into the Golden Age, where we continued to take rebirth. Then we entered the Silver Age and continued to take rebirth. The Father also tells this one, you did not know of your births. I am telling you how human beings take 84 births. There is no question of 8.4 million births. The duration of each cycle is only 5,000 years. Those scriptures sent you into a deep sleep. The Father has now awakened you. After waking up, you claim your inheritance from the Father. You are small children. Some are 3 months old and some are 4 months old. When you belong to God, you die and the world is dead for you. When you belong to Baba, your body consciousness breaks. The Father says, while living in your bodies, while living at home with your families, remain like a lotus. In the Golden Age, your relationships were pure. Then you became those who belonged to the impure household religion. It is you who belong to the deity religion, who take 84 births. You are also the ones who start performing devotion. You are the ones who become worshippers from being worthy of worship. In the beginning, your devotion was unadulterated. Devotion has now become adulterated. Once again, you are to receive your inheritance from the Father. The Father has to come at the confluence age. They speak of God coming in every age. In that case, they should specifically say 4 ages. How can they say there are 24 incarnations into a fish and an alligator, etc.? God is one. The Creator is one. His creation is also one. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bapdada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dana. 1. In order to claim self-sovereignty, sacrifice yourself to the Father. Constantly keep your aim and objective in front of you. Make effort to become part of the Sun dynasty. 2. Constantly keep open your third eye of knowledge which you have received from the Father. Pay total attention so that Maya doesn't enter you. Become a conqueror of sinful actions with the fire of yoga. Blessing. May you be a conqueror of attachment and an embodiment of remembrance, and stay constant and stable by making the Father belong to you in all relationships. In order to become a conqueror of attachment and an embodiment of remembrance, make the Father belong to you in all relationships. Do not let your intellect be attached to anyone in a physical relationship. If there is attachment to anyone, your intellect will wander. You will sit down to remember the Father, and instead of that, you will remember the one you are attached to. Some have attachment to money, some to their jewellery, and some to their relationships. Wherever those things are, their intellects will go there. If your intellect is repeatedly pulled by those things, you cannot remain constant and stable. Slogan. Make nature your servant and sadness will go away. Om Shanti.